their coach, something that's critical for a team that's playing at this level, that's going to be playing against evil geniuses. But let's talk about some of their team chemistry and how they are putting together their strategies. Who's the backbone of this team when it comes to thinking black?
I mean, it's probably a combination of three players, I would say, that do most of the thinking. Like S4, Fly, and of course Bulba. Fly obviously captain OG for a very long time before. S4 was captain of Alliance. They have like a lot of great ideas, a lot of great minds that come together, and sometimes it can also be their weakness, because if there's too many ideas, it's hard to really solidify like one thought, and then it might just branch out for too long. I think that actually happened during the group stage, I think, where the drafts were all over the place, and now they have like a more unified idea.
It feels like even players like Sumo or Arteezy will have like a lot of input over at least their heroes, and I think with Secret it's very different, where everyone's uniting around Puppy's ideas. It's much more that kind of dictatorship, and that works so well. Like Sumby's there as a coach, but he doesn't feel like he's not the one picking the heroes. He's sitting behind. He's like Puppy's lieutenant. He's giving him suggestions, ideas, feedbacks that Puppy can bounce off of. But end of the day, it's Puppy's team. With EG, it's not really anyone's team. It's everyone. It's this democracy where everyone has their input. Everyone kind of has to agree on it together a bit. Bulba's in the drafting chair, but he's not the guy in control of the team.
Yeah, and I think it is important to think about that. Get a little wave here, feeling ready. But yeah, last night even, being around the venue, you get to see everybody and grab the burger with Sumail and Bulba, and you hear them going back and forth, talking about Dota all night. And there are disagreements, and then they reach an agreement. And it's interesting to see the team have everybody contributing like that when we talk about Secret having a very different style. And we're going to see which one is able to win, what comes out of those two different styles, what the draft actually looks like for each team. But you look at EG's draft, it's definitely evolved in this tournament. It's definitely changed throughout the CQ Major. We get here, and they're just going to jam Furion. Kind of seemed like the strategy they wanted to employ. Then it's, okay, let's just rock out with OD. Today, I have the feeling that maybe we don't see that. Maybe we see a different thing prepared for the final day of the Major.
I think the big question is, how do you deal with Terrorblade? To me, that hero being first to pick constantly, and we've seen some things that work okay. EG 100% win rate on the hero. The way EG played against it, they first to Timbersaw in response to it, which they won the game with, but it didn't look like a dominant instant hard counter, and it does feel like teams have struggled to just beat TB.
We talk a lot about the early game, the laning phase, and also potentially getting to that late game and the decision-making that we see there when we compare these two squads stylistically. But something that we haven't gone in great detail on is something Gods did mention today, and that is the idea of how they are playing with Arteezy. Is that something that needs to change when they're going head-to-head with Secret? Can Arteezy play alone, or does there need to be that focus earlier on in the laning phase of them gelling as a unit, Gods?
I think you can take your same approach to game one at least. It's got you this from the tournament. See what Secret's going to do to punish it. I don't think you can second guess yourself too much and be like, okay, we're versing Secret now. Let's suddenly put Arteezy's role to be super active and play with the team. Stick with what's worked if you're EG. Try play for that late game. Approach the draft where Secret's maybe going to try and bully your early game, but don't try and reinvent yourself as a team.
Secret, on the other hand, they seem to like sometimes coming in against the team and looking like a completely different squad, reinventing the strategy, coming out, and we saw it in VP when they attempted to do it against them. But now against EG, do you think they're thinking about these weaknesses and saying, this is exactly how we're going to play?
I mean, I thought in the winner bracket when I played against VP, the third game draft was kind of iffy. Like, they picked this Slark Medusa. It's very greedy, and I think they have a lot of polishing to do in that regard. I don't think they can necessarily get away with the greedy lineup against EG, because why would you play into their strengths?
Well, I think it's also like EG's so good at stalling. They're always defending their high ground and just making the game drag out. So if you're Secret, I think it's a mistake not to at least get some late game assurance. But you should be getting some late game assurance while still looking to dominate early mid game.
It just feels like Slark and Medusa such a weird combination, because they don't really have a playmaker until Slark gets one or two items.
I'm not sold on Slark as a hero. I'd much rather see the more team fighty secondary carries like the Monkey King that's looked really good alongside Secret's draft. Like some of these other heroes that are just a bit more impactful than the Slark, I guess, for lack of a better word. I just don't think Slark's like the kind of hero that's going to win you games.
As we start to crunch some of the numbers here, a few interesting things have definitely popped up on the screen. One of them is going to be the fact that we see a 39 average game time on the side of EG, 39 minutes, much higher than the tournament average as we talk about the fact that they like to be this late team game. And a major thank you to SAP throughout the entirety of the tournament, aggregating this data, giving us these stats to figure out what we may be able to see when we get into this game. But we also start to look at what the players have done, and we see Sumail definitely being one of those players that has the potential to take over this game.
I mean, yeah, he had the potential for like ever.
He's a baller. This kid is still amazing. I mean, we still call him a kid because he broke down the scene when he was 15. He's been around since TI5, but he is incredibly talented. Him and Crit are the two guys who've been on EG for a long, long time now, and they are the two standout players.
I mean, I don't know if you know the feeling, but when I played at him, at DAC against him, he was, I think, 15, and he just completely destroyed our team. And then they 3-0 us, and you like handshake. This guy's like half my size. I'm like, how did he crush me so hard?
And he kind of does it like single-handedly, it feels like.
Yeah, then he goes home and does his homework, right? Yeah. He just absolutely destroyed you.
He was like this shy kid. He wouldn't talk to you. He just looks at you like, yeah, sorry for killing you. Or like,
was that the game where he went like 0-5 on Storm 2 and then still came back and destroyed you guys?
I had like a minute 12 Bloodstone anyway.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because, you know, I obviously at the time was just watching from home moments like that when he was at that young age, and just really got to meet him now when he's like 19. And you meet him now as a 19-year-old, and he's way more mature than I am. Like, he's way more mature than most people that you'll meet in your entire life. He seems like he's like a CEO half the time when you talk to him. And it is cool to see how somebody can develop in the scene like this as we start seeing these bands come in.
And he's got the best fashion out of any Dota player, hands down.
Got some swag.
Yeah, that guy is legit. Like, his clothing is always...
Not gonna lie, it's not that hard to beat all the Dota guys. You know, Black, like, you're
yeah, I mean,
sometimes.
You know what the worst part is? I'm not even the lowest tier. There's like tiers below me.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Can't say that about many things.
I respect that. I respect that he took his jersey off and put on his jacket between games yesterday. You know, where they had the 2 series, he's like, "No, I'm gonna, get my streetwear before getting into my. If I'm in my jersey, it's because I'm playing Dota. If I'm not playing Dota, we'll take that jersey off."
Yeah. We see the OD ban, see the Earth Spirit ban, and the Magnus ban. 3 heroes they used to very good success yesterday.
Yep. So first pick for Secret, which means EG's probably looking for like a TB +1 as their 1-2 punch.
Unless Secret picks that TB.
Overall first pick TB. I mean, I think EG's fine with that because they can at least respond immediately.
Also, you look at these bans, and when Team Secret has to target ban so many things based off of what EG has played and what EG has wanted to play throughout the entirety of the tournament, it's going to leave open some interesting things. We're going to have IO potentially getting through here. We could look to maybe even get Dazzles through Centaurs. A lot of these heroes that have been banned out very quickly in the tournament going to be available. Lich getting banned out is something that we expect. ET getting banned out is something we expect. But besides that...
Ooh, they banned Timber. They're thinking they'll get that first. It's one of those things where they see the draft going away where they're going to get to pick TB in the first 2.
Oh, go IO.
Yep.
IO is so scary if Grimstroke is in the pool. But as we said, Grimstroke is not really an EG hero.
Yep.
So I guess Secret also knows that if we know that.
Secret must feel like IO +1 can at least match TB as well because that Timber ban just says we're picking TB.
We talk about potential combos with IO. Obviously, your mind does gyrate towards Gyro, but we've seen potential to bring other heroes.
Gyro, Luna's the other big one. I think that's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Mahaz is saying he likes the Luna even more than the Gyro.
I feel Luna is a lot greedier than Gyro, though. And they're both not great against TB.
TB tough. So I think every EG draft, like the last 5 games, they first 2 pick Crits hero, whether it's the Tusk, Earth Spirit, or we've seen Tiny at least once or twice as well.
It's just so important to really secure that position 4 in the first phase, because what's there now? No Earth Spirit, no Tusk, no Titan.
Yeah.
They kind of... I mean, obviously Secret, they love their position 4. Tiny, they love their position 4.
Tiny, we saw Magnus for Crit
Actually,
as well.
what am I saying? It's going to be Yapsa on the IO. Never mind.
Yes.
Do you think Secret needs to think about still potentially banning out the Grimstroke?
Yeah, I think it's a hero that is quite possible for Fly. I don't know how well he plays it, but it's just really good. If not that, you expect those teamfight heroes. The Disruptor and the Phoenix are the 2 most played for him. I don't know if you target the 5-position roller. It kind of comes down to what they're most afraid of.
I think there's too much. There's Winter Wyvern as well.
There's Wyvern, and then you look at the other roles. Like I feel like you're better off banning like Centaur for S4 or something.
Okay.
I think there's too many heroes that Fly can fit in that there's not like one specific one worth banning.
Kunkka.
Weird, because Sumail, did he play this tournament even?
No, but he's always been a bit of a Kunkka player. I think Kunkka is the gyro counter for a long period of time. It's just like, you put that boat down and the gyro flak is just not doing any damage to anyone. It just felt like Kunkka started becoming a hero that caused gyro a lot of problems.
Yeah. The tight ban on the other side.
So Centaur still in the pool for the offlaners.
As for Centaur, looked really good.
Yes.
Like, it was actually one of the only heroes he looked really good on. Like
Yeah,
his
winning
Doom,
his lane,
his Beast were very... I mean, they weren't bad, it's just he died a lot in lane with them.
S4 is the player that you guys have been most critical of on EG throughout the entirety of this event, so giving him something he's comfortable on seems like a good idea. This Centaur fit well in this lineup with a Tusk and a TB, Black.
Certainly. I mean, he's an aura builder, he's just a tanky frontliner, exactly what TB loves. He just likes to have like 1-2 guys in front of him so he can just destroy the enemy team.
Now, starting to run into the reserve time a little bit, but interesting to note as well, it was Team Secret that had to counterban what EGs like to bring throughout the tournament, but they knew that they were still going to be able to get the IO gyro. It seems like it was something that they were very much thinking of coming into this based off of what they expect EG to pick.
Yeah. IO gyro is really weak in lane though nowadays. Like, until you're level 3, you actually have no damage potential at all.
That's where I feel like they're going to be playing more, the EG style, where like, let's just go late game, because they're expecting, EG is going to be, or T is going to be farming on TB. And Secret, IO gyro, you're not looking, like you say, to have a good, really strong early game.
I mean, TB, or the single target physical DPS in general destroys Gyrocopter. Of course, TB's single target DPS is immense. There goes the Centaur. Not a big surprise. But yeah, like, TB is one of the best counters to gyro in mid-late game. Like, you just destroy him with all the physical damage.
And that's my question right now, because we say the win condition for Secret may be to just dominate that laning phase, to punish those mistakes that we've seen from EG in the earlier portions of the game. And now it seems like, okay, let's fight fire with fire. Let's go late game. Let's bring something in the late game. Does EG want a game like this? Don't they want to go to the later portions of the game?
I mean, EG, I would argue, drafted more for late game than Secret did so far. Like, Secret with the IO Sven now as well, they're definitely looking to put on the pressure very early. Lots of relocated gangs, just tank up, pressure the map, kind of try to contain them on their own side, so they can just freely farm and get into the late game, as we said. If you get into the late game with 20k gold deficit, you won't win, no matter what.
This has been the preferred 5 position to run with IO, I feel, this tournament. It just makes up for some of his weaknesses, having this, guaranteed stun and lockdown that IO doesn't bring to the table. Can help set up relocate ganks, gives you just, this really strong 5-man around the IO gyro when you've got Warcry as well.
It's the biggest issue of IO, just staying alive, because everybody always focuses you. He gives you like an additional 440 health. And I think most teams, actually, even VP ran like a position 5 Sven when they picked that IO. So it's a very strong combo.
So EG now looking to save Sumail's here for last, I imagine, so probably just picking up their Fly Phoenix Disruptor.
Phoenix looks quite good here. And Disruptor, of course, also against IO. Excellent choice. We'll see what they go with here. Probably just the Phoenix.
Yeah. We mentioned Grim against the IOs, but I don't think they have anything great to kind of combo with the Grimstroke Ultimate. They got Double Edge, but I don't think enough right now to justify the
Double Walrus Punch.
Pick. Does that work?
Idea.
I feel like that doesn't work.
No, it is a Disruptor.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always glimpse back people on the relocate, which can be kind of nice. Most people are aware of it. Gyro's going to have a BKB or something as well, but if you can catch the IO with that glimpse, it can be very, very annoying.
It's kind of funny. We have been sitting here for like the last 2-3 days, predicting everything EG does. Pretty sure Secret can do the same thing, but yet EG is just winning against everyone.
Well, that's, if you have a formula that works, you're going to stick to it. Being predictable is not always bad.
I mean, Alliance is probably the best example for that. Always pick the same, always won.
Yeah, no, all 4 of these EG heroes were like the most predictable things that viewers at home knew this was coming.
Yeah, for sure. And they didn't show like too much really. Like, it's kind of hard to just pick like a hero for mid one now. Like, what is gonna win us the game mid one?
I mean, he's got a lot of heroes he can be pretty impactful. I feel like his Monkey King's been really good. That's a hero that you can consider putting in the mid lane. There are some annoying matchups for it, but I think he does well enough in most matchups.
Yeah. And it is Brewmaster for Zai.
Okay.
What do we think of the Brewmaster when we look at this entire lineup? We got an Iroh, we got a Gyro, we have a Sven, and now we have the Brew.
And Brewmaster's just good against auras in general. You can dispel the Crimson, you can dispel the TB illusions, you can spin up a hero when they try to disengage with a center ult. Lots of good merits.
That's the good. The bad is the Disruptor matchup, perhaps. If you get glimpsed into a Static Storm, you can't get off your ultimate. So there is some potential concerns for Brewmaster, but eventually you'll see a BKB, I imagine. And if you get your split off, then you're not worried about. You blink in with a clap split, you're not worried about getting glimpsed out, for example.
Probably just blink BKB this game is best for him.
Well, Vlad's first, I guess.
Yeah, Vlad's of course.
That's like
or maybe Sven could possibly build that if he has a good game.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're asking Puppy to get a lot of farm quickly. To get
and
Vlad's up.
Yapso, of course, is like basically the 4th core.
Yep. So mid lane is for last, as EG will have the counter pick.
Yep. It's probably just going to be a Monkey or something like that.
A Monkey. Could see Sumail playing something like a Puck, potentially.
Yeah.
Oh, just
they
kidding.
banned
He's going
out
to
the
ban
Puck
the Puck.
themselves,
Nope,
yeah.
that's not happening.
So now that the Puck is going to be banned, maybe we're thinking Monkey King, but how about on the side of Team Secret? What do you think their last pick will have to be here? Do they have to wait to react to what Evil Geniuses grabs?
I would just like to see...
They need more damage, right?
Yeah, so Monkey fits that. What else is really good for damage from mid one? I would have liked to see Puck, but obviously that's banned.
Pugna, Tinker, like,
Pugna.
if you feel like you still need to address the TB, you could pick those heroes.
Tinker could work. Of course, can get countered by the last pick.
Yeah. And you are playing Tinker into Disruptor. The Centaur Ag Stampede theoretically can be annoying, but it's like an okay Tinker game.
Yeah. The only thing, like if you pick a Monkey, it can be kind of scary to get hard countered. Something like an SF or something, where you really have a lot of problems. But then again, his Monkey always...
SF's just not a look we've seen from EG yet. I don't know if you're...
Yeah, true. They would probably want to have like a more DP kind of hero. Team fight control.
We already saw that yesterday too, right? For the first time.
We did.
Saw the DP.
He put in a lot of work. 15 seconds left.
Down to the wire. Remember, only one of these teams going to make it to the grand final. Only 2 series left today for the major. Got a show match in between, but only 2 series.
Razor.
So they might be picking the Monkey King?
Dragon Knight.
Similar.
I really would love to see an SF right here. But that's not really EG style. But I think SF would be super good. DP is quite good against the land too. They have a silence for the Brewmaster.
DK's always been very good against TB. Like, yeah, it's a kind of tempo early mid-game here, but if it does go late game, you've got super high armor, you've got some damage mitigation with the Breathe Fire. It's actually a very nice matchup and was always picked a lot against TB. But he could get some tough lanes, you know. Maybe this is where EG consider the Monkey King or the SF you mentioned.
Yeah, Monkey is more the EG hero here. Monkey or DP probably.
Death Prophet, yeah.
Monkey.
I like
exact same thing we saw yesterday. Why go away from it if it works?
Yeah, EG, no real departure here from what we've seen from them so far, but all in all, a strong draft. Question I have for you guys before we get into the game, the first game of our best of 3. Do you think that the pressure is still on the laning phase? Is that going to be where the pressure is as with what Secret has drafted here?
I think it's less laning stage and more like that 10 to 20 minute stage. That's when once you get out of the laning stage, Secret will play very fast tempo with Brew Split, with DK Ultimate. They can push towers very effectively, and that's where an Arteezy's TB is going to have to be split pushing, cutting waves, being really annoying. But a very, I think, expected kind of cookie cutter draft from both teams, and neither team comes out with a draft win, I feel.
Yeah, it's just like their strengths peak at different times in the game. I think the Secret lineup is much stronger in the mid game, whereas EG's lineup, as we already said, will be much, much stronger in the late game. Because TB and Monkey should on paper always beat the Secret lineup in late game. But the pressure they can assert on the map, like 20, 25 minutes into the game, is going to be very severe.
You've got relocate. You're going to have kill opportunities wherever you... Like, Arteezy can't split push into relocate that easily.
Well, you've heard where the strengths are for both of these squads. It's time to see who can execute. Only one of them making it to the grand final. Let's get this series started.
Thank you so much, Rich. And ladies and gentlemen, we got a treat for you today. It's Evil Geniuses versus Secret. 2 teams. I don't know if there's more history here than any other 2 teams in this freaking tournament as far as players swapping back and forth. But today they're against each other. And Fogged, How you feeling about the matchup? Monkey King versus Dragon Knight again?
Yeah, you know, people are going to flame me. No, yesterday I did say 50-50. I actually was asking people around more because I saw TI a lot of these times it would even out. Monkey King the first few lanes, you kind of crush. But asking a bunch of people, there's actually a lot of different opinions. So I heard 60-40 in some situations. I heard depending on if you start with an Orb of Venom, you can really crush the DK. But the biggest thing was that you get so many extra denies on the Monkey King just from that damage. So it is like a 60-40 matchup. But as the game plays out, DK has a good game versus Monkey King because, yeah, you just group up with your team and you want to push. So that's going to be the idea Secret wants, and especially when they're playing versus Disruptor. We talk a lot about when you're playing with Disruptor, you don't really like getting ran at too much, and I do believe that is what the strategy that Secret's going to try to do. Group up with their ultis. They've got DK ult, they've got Brew ulti. They're just going to start running at these towers and putting the pressure onto EG so they can't just farm, and I think that's where the Monkey King can also come into play, and he can try to fight and match that. So Sumail wants to play pretty active in this game to make space for RTZ.
You're telling me it's going to be a brawl again. We had some wonderful matches yesterday going on, just the back and forth in the mid lane. I think we remember seeing, like, it was actually Disruptor and Tusk again, but they're on opposite sides, and the Tusk just kept coming back to the mid lane and snowballing in spite of the death. So it does look like already movement out across the map. Should be a trade-off of 2 runes apiece. 4 of Secret are actually grouped up in the jungle, anticipating somebody moving in for a ward mission or something. We'll see if they decide to go for a delayed smoke, maybe? No, they're just heading down bottom. Okay. Keep our eyes on it.
They didn't want to get some like smoke movement with Tag Team, right? Tag Team is still one of the most ridiculous abilities, level 1. So if you do get surrounded, it can be quite a bit of a trouble. So we're gonna have some interesting tri-lane coming out. This is gonna be a fun tri-lane action, and also top should be fun as well. S4 is gonna get a good lane.
Oh my God.
He hasn't been having great lanes at this tournament so far. It's been pretty tough for him, but now he's versus Zine in 1v1.
Puppey is here. They've already used the tag team, but the Stormhammer is out, used prematurely. Can they kill off Crit? Doesn't look like it's going to happen. The Bounty Rune going the way of Puppey, and now Arteezy chased down. Can they find the secondary kill here? Need to be able to find it. Arteezy very low. The stun connects, and first blood drawn by Nisha.
Arteezy not wanting to get a skill there, so they're pretty much playing with only 2 abilities because Terrorblade wants to save if he wants to have the meta in the laning phase when they do make an aggressive play. If he uses there and then dies, the lane is an absolute disaster for EG, but yeah, Secret, they're able to claim what? 3 of the 4 bounty runes and first blood. So that means their tri-lane, who got the last hit? It was Nisha. Their tri-lane is going to be enabled quite a bit here because they can start off with sticks. All 3 of them immediately when they get that kill, pick up a magic stick.
Big stuff. Uh-oh. Yep. Thunderstrike out, Puppey taking a lot of damage there as well. And this is going to be the brawling lane. I mean, you have your other 2 that are going on simultaneously with the Brewmaster versus the Centaur, and then, of course, the mid matchup of Monkey King versus Dragon Knight. So we'll kind of keep those in the back of our periphery, but bottom lane is where we're likely going to be seeing some kills, and maybe even early on here, Puppey pretty far forward. They needed a punch. Can't quite get it, and it looks like with the extra little regen coming in, Puppey will live.
Yeah, he had sticks too.
So far, that bottom lane, and the, well, Centaur has actually been having a great time against this Brewmaster.
This is a excellent lane for Centaur, because trading hits is, you know, a lot of times when Brew and you get your levels, Drunken Brawler starts doing a lot of damage, but every time you're hitting that Centaur, he's going to be able to get that Retaliate up and turn it on you quite heavily.
Now, not to mention the base damage improvement that you have on that Centaur with just so much strength early on. And we can see what you're talking about there. A little bit more denies going the way of Sumail as soon as he builds up those Jingu stacks.
Yeah, but Midwin's doing a much better job than yesterday. Maybe definitely had a little bit of mistakes in the laning phase yesterday that it got to a point where Sumail was like 12-12 already at this point in comparison to like the 3-0 of the Dragon Knight. So a little bit better lane control coming out for Midwin, but Sumail is building up those Jingus as he gets that Orb of Venom and will be able to lifesteal off the wave constantly.
Meanwhile, up top yet again, the Retaliate stacks, like you're saying, doesn't need many of them, but it gives a lot of bonus damage there to that Centaur. And all across the board right now, EG having a very nice time of it.
It's not even just like the Retaliate, too. It's just Centaur overall. You have such a beautiful animation. You have one of the higher base damages in the game as well. That's 72 that he has right now at level 3 versus that Brew. So can easily get those last hits.
For sure. Sumail trading a couple hits there. The Boundless Strike healing back up again. And mid one just going to retreat to eat a tango and head to back into last hit. But yeah, bottom lane, a bit of a wash as we have C7-1 for both of the carries. So breaking somewhat even and has been somewhat slow since those initial kills.
Yep. No matter whenever EG has meta, they can make moves. Without meta, they have to play a little bit more defensively versus the side of this IO gyrocopter with Sven. Sven also kind of turns the tide of the lane too, because just how powerful Warcry is versus tag team and Fly. He's looking to be pretty dead here with this chase coming out. They have the stun as well.
Able to get him a couple more punches, and that's going to be another kill. This one going the way of Puppy. So 2 kills in this bottom lane, the 3-minute mark. Still nothing to write home about. Doesn't feel absolutely terrible by any stretch of the imagination.
And Gyro's still getting some. TB's even. Just, yeah, those other 2 lanes. The Monkey King pretty dominant now over the DK, and Centaur dominant over the Brew.
That Monkey King is just so ridiculous. Every time I see him punch from like 400 units away or whatever.
Yeah, Mid1's got the Soul Ring now, so at least he can spam the mana. He was running low, so.
Oh, top lane, yet again. Use the reflection, slow down a little bit there, and that will stop Secret in their tracks. And Zai need to be careful to retaliate, trying to run away. He needs a couple misses there. S4. Ooh, almost got him.
This lane is really going to snowball in favor of S4, and this is a great game for the Centaur. Not even just the Centaur in particular, just for his whole team to be able to use the Stampede and get on top of that Isle, get on top of that Gyrocopter, and try to bring them down. So EG, yeah, having some nice success here, and they also have an Invis now on Crit. So he's looking to put some pressure onto the mid lane.
Yeah, we've sometimes seen this, like, first movers, particularly with the Tusk, have a really big advantage finding those kills when we have a rotation mid or something, particularly in these melee versus melee matchups. But Crit, not feeling like he can make anything happen, is going to head back towards bottom and maybe try and set up to see if Secret is pushed out of position.
They have to try to get on top of either. It's like there's 2 things. Either you kill the IO immediately or you focus only the Gyrocopter. So you can't give the IO the chance to actually overcharge and heal. If the IO doesn't take damage, then sure. But now IO is level 3, so overcharge is there as well. So he can always be sure to get that healing going.
And yeah, the Warcry. All of this stick as well. They've got 8 stick charges on Puppy.
That's what happens when you get those, just like that little first blood. So their tri-lane is quite successful on the side of Secret. But yeah, those other 2 lanes have quite a problem. As Sumail is near level 6. Mid1 is almost level 5, though.
Trade off there. 2 bounty runes apiece. Still very even in this early going, just 5 minutes in.
Sumail is really just focusing. It's like harassing the Dragon Knight is something that people used to do a lot on the Monkey Kings. Now it's just you just pure out deny every single time with these Jingu stacks.
Did see that ward dropped. That way Sumail can maybe try and dodge some more of these breathe fires. Don't believe that mid-1 was within vision, but he did get hit by the last one, was able to dodge one of the other ones when he was up on the high ground.
I think I've seen him dodge 2 or 3. I've been trying to take glances in that mid lane quite a bit here.
In the meantime, Arteezy has headed back to the jungle. Level 3 Terrorblade, able to farm Ancients. It's at least one good thing about this hero, and part of the reason why I'm sure they pick it in the early phases.
Yeah, but that means one of your lanes is just pretty much abandoned. So now the supports on the side of Secret, they can start making their choices what they want to do. Either stack or you try to make rotations and put pressure on the lane. Because you look at EG, the Tusk can make moves with people, but Disruptor, low levels, making moves is a lot harder.
Yeah, definitely.
They can move together, though. The 2 of them can set up for kills.
And, you know, if you were able to get Fly a couple more levels, Disruptor's certainly the type of hero that an early level 6 can make all the difference in the world. And even just getting more points up in that glimpse. They're going to chase down Zai here. His level 5 is going to be slowed by the tag team, but the Drunken Brawler walkaway, Sumail, has that haste rune, which is why EG felt comfortable going for this. Does miss a couple hits there, but now after count to 4, Boundless Strike follow-up. S4 going to be there, and Sumail cleans it up.
Nice rotation coming in. We'll give mid-1 some space now. You see he's up to those 30 last hits, also level 6. So don't want to rotate too much on the Monkey King, because yeah, the threat of your tower being continued to siege by a Dragon Knight will begin.
This minute when the catapults have come out, it doesn't look like either side is going to be able to make something happen with that mid-1 level 6, but Disruptor rotated in, and that makes it harder to push.
Yeah, a lot of times you do see that like 5-minute rotation with the wagon for them to try to dive, get a kill, and go for the objective, especially with a hero like DK, but not the strategy that Secret wants to go for. They're just actually leaving Yapsor in the lane constantly with Nisha to split experience. He's actually not walking away at all. It's going to be just Puppy to waltz between lanes, put the wards down, and
is going to be the more sacrificial role there for sure. So things to watch out for in this one are going to be level 6 rotations potentially as well. You've got Stampede already online for S4, so could be a little bit deadly for EG if they want to make that play.
It definitely is a bit scary that it's going to be such a farm Centaur, because in this game we're looking a really early Crimson Guard could be quite powerful. Of course, versus Brewmaster, he can dispel it.
Black and the missile going out, connects on the Fly, but he is perfectly fine, and well, does look like they're going to try and make this pressure happen, and they are going to do it with the wagon. So Catapult hitting, and they're trying to take down this bottom tier 1 tower, possibly open up an angle into that side jungle where we've seen oftentimes Terrorblade just want to inhabit.
Yeah, you want to get any of these early tier 1s. We mentioned exactly what Secret wants to do in this game, right? They want to get these early tier 1s, and then they just want to run at EG. Don't let Terrorblade just sit back jungling. Don't let Disruptor play the game that he wants to, where you're the ones getting picked off constantly with the glimpse. You're the team with a Wisp who's going to have pretty early level 6, so you can set up for relocates. You can have the number advantage in a lot of these situations.
Losing potentially these 2 towers really early. Sumail gets hit by it, and now going to move in as well with the Brewmaster and trying to find that kill into Monkey King. Sumail throws out the Wukong's command, the extra armor. It's not going to be enough. No, he goes for the lift up. And now can they find this turnaround kill? S4 not able to interrupt this one. Crit trying to run. They still have a lot of heroes in the area. Another lift up onto the center.
The last
got
second
2
lift.
of them. And now Crit's caught. And when he comes back down, he could potentially be surrounded. Now Secret looking like they just want to keep their eyes on the prize and try and do as much damage to this tower as they can.
They want nothing to do with S4. He has 1,775 HP with that phase double bracer and 1. So just ignore him, throw him in the air. They get the surround. That's a very good rotation coming in there from Zai. First brew split, very successful. Didn't fully get the tower, but forced a lot of rotations.
Killing off Sumail for sure. It's a recipe for success.
Yeah, just enable mid one a bit there, right? So Sumail was well over 1,300 net worth over the Dragon Knight after that laning phase and successful haste rune. Now it's only 1,000.
Not so bad for them, for sure.
Yeah. And mid one gets enabled a lot off of it because now he's got options. He's got 1,500 gold. He has the phase boots queued up, but seeing if he can go for a bigger item first. Be it that armlet or just that hunting item, the Shadow Blade or Blink Dagger. We'll see which one it is the choice for him.
Meanwhile, does look like there is going to be Nisha and Yapsor moving into the jungle to see if they can possibly steal away some stacks or just secure those bounty runes.
Fill up the Wisp bottle.
Yeah.
Who already has double bracer as well, Yapsor. So 1,000 HP on the IO early on.
Just like that, Secret going to pick up 3 bounty runes.
Oh.
Stun goes out. Sumail just going to have to back away. He did pick up that regen rune.
Yep. So EG's trying to slow it down a little bit here. Everyone's just kind of the cores are going to jungle for the most part, and they're going to try to give these supports the lane. They were giving Fly it for a bit so he can get higher levels in the Glimpse because it's only level 3 on the Disruptor, and you saw Tusk. Crit was only level 3 a moment ago as well. They give him top lane now to boost him forward.
One of the downsides of having those tri-lanes and having to keep it for so long as well. But those cores kind of uneven farm. The big difference is going to be just that Gyrocopter out ahead of the Terrorblade. By almost 2,000 gold, actually.
Yeah, and the Midas, mid-one changed his mind. Yeah, he had phase boots queued up. He queued up the armlet for a quick second, and then he just went, straight Midas. He wants to be able to farm, take it, doesn't care if it goes late game. If he itemizes, as this DK, we were mentioning it yesterday too, when Maybe was playing it, if these DKs itemize, they can actually scale incredibly hard into the late game.
It does feel really like the mid one is just playing this game incredibly different from how we saw it yesterday with Maybe playing it. He's not falling behind in the laning stage. He's solving the problem that Dragon Knight falling behind. So yeah, cool stuff. And the faster than the fastest gets it done very quickly.
Huh?
I mean, is that going to be at all a concern for any of these other heroes, a lack of scalability? Do you see any of the EG cores really falling off at all?
No, the core should be farming just fine. I mean, Sumail's going the standard build. It's like Echo Saber. He might go the Diffusal afterwards anyway. That's the one that we've been seeing a lot of the times. Terrorblade, we've seen Terrorblade a lot.
Of course.
We know what this hero does late game. So no, I mean, EG's still able to scale quite hard too. It's just they want to be able to match.
Okay.
And the difference maker is really just like that damage mitigation can really come into play. It's like if Centaur gets Aghanims at some point, lots of damage mitigation. But then you look at the side of Secret, they've got a Warcry that can also, and they've got heroes that can build up for that too. And they've got a Dragon Knight who is just damage mitigation in general as a hero.
And then all the stuff that IO brings to the table, it's all just going to be a problem. So
a lot of
like Arcane Rune and popping the Dragon form from mid one.
It is a lot of damage reduction that can come out from Secret. I actually was like forgetting about Overcharge for a second.
Same.
Yeah, because they can go for the auras on the Brew, and then they can have the other auras on Yapsor.
Yeah.
While on the other side, it's really only the Centaur who can be that aura carrier for EG. Tusk can go for somebody. He doesn't want to. His bottom.
We've seen this before. Relocate coming in. They do have Stampede to try and run away afterwards, and Fly potentially in position to throw out a glimpse, but it's not going to be enough. Static Storm actually, but he doesn't catch any of them. They glimpse him back in, but he's not caught in the kinetic field. Oh, there's Sumail throwing at that Wukong's man. Look at all the heals coming, and they're able to keep alive Nisha. And now S4 also in trouble. They're going to roll forward, find themselves this pickoff here.
Nisha.
It is going to be Nisha down. Came at the cost of Sumail. Can Secret find any more? Fly already dead. S4 headed off and was able to TP away, it looks like, as they try and chase down and kill off this one last pesky Tusk.
The tower is so low.
God, he's thinking about going in for
HP.
last hit. No, he can't do that one. Does have a snowball over to the creeps, maybe, if he can get within range. No, they fully control him.
And now they'll get the tower denied too. Great rotations coming out from Secret. And that's the thing that you have to watch out for when you're playing versus IO, just these relocate plays. You're going to get outnumbered in all these fights because you're playing with a Terrorblade. So Sumail, he's trying to match the movements. He's trying to play aggressive, as we said, that he would like to do as this Monkey King, but has to be really careful because, sure, you've got your Wukong's command, you've got 12 bonus armor, but what do we know about Gyrocopter? You're not really physical damage in the early game. You are all magical. So they can go right through a lot of that Wukong's. And they also have Warcry. And, like we said, the Overcharge, too. It's just all these different damage mitigations.
Well, we're keeping our eyes on this Terrorblade's movement around the map here, mainly staying down bottom and now having to retreat back to the jungle. It is going to be something to watch for later and maybe an answer to that IO Gyro. If he can keep the lanes pushed out with his illusions, doesn't present himself as a target, then all of a sudden maybe you can mitigate some of those relocate ganks. But likewise, if Secret are able to get down some deep vision, find him in the jungle, and then set up with a smoke, could spell disaster.
It's just how well, it's pretty much how well can EG do 4 versus 5 until Arteezy comes online. That's going to be the name of the game for them for quite a while. Disruptor is the one little bit of an X factor, too, that you could say, because he can glimpse people out of the fight, right? If they do set up a relocate, then they can kind of change the numbers with that. And if they can set up good static storms, too, on that relocate, it can change a lot. So we're going to be watching Fly a lot, who's been, I mean, playing great. Sure, yesterday he had like that 18 deaths, but he had so much impact in the game, even when he had that many.
Well, and speaking about that glimpse potential here as well, they're bringing 4 heroes to the bottom lane. While doing a good bit of damage there onto Puppey. They Stampede. They're going to try and chase this one down with the Thunder Strike. Looks like he is going to go down. So EG set up to take this tower. And again, the strength of Fly being able to glimpse people away. Although with the homing missile on him, they are going to need to retreat for the moment. And also S4 is very low.
Yeah, he's not high enough for them to take a good fight. He does have the blink, though, so maybe if you see somebody like completely separated alone, could look to burst them with somebody else. And
Yapzor, greedy. Jump forward, hoof stomp. Barely off the mark there. And
now Secret's turning up. They want to look to try to catch something here, but their catch isn't the best just yet without the brew or without the DK with a blink, which is the item choice that mid one has queued up for now.
And with that, Secret just going to farm out their own jungle. Again, space created. Still a 2,000 gold lead right now for Secret.
Yep. Experience is about even. I mean, it's EG favored for a little bit because of that, of course, successful laning phase that happened for the Centaur and TB just jungling. So TB is level 11, Gyro only level 10 because he's having to stick with his team. Nisha is going for an early BKB. So, yeah, BKB timing with a Blink Dagger on both of their other cores. That's going to be like just straight go time for Secret to just take the last 3 tier 2s and just assert map dominance.
Crit gets hit there by the stun. They have the DD onto S4. Now just a walk away, Secret. Need to be careful about overextending. But yeah, it is a little bit interesting again, like going to that BKB on the Gyrocopter. Obviously, you want it to be able to stay alive. But it feels like this Midas insurance policy kind of is there to make sure that they can get to the late game, that the BKB is going for the early game.
They want to set the tempo, right? That's what Secret wants to do in comparison. EG, they want to just chill back and farm.
Pushing for this tier 2, and ooh, just a little blink away there. It does mean that this is likely going to be a denied tower. So two towers denied.
The only 2 they've gotten have been denied.
Could be part of that net worth lead as well. Secret, they've been able to take all of the outer tier 1 towers.
Yeah.
Gotten the gold for each of them.
And they are getting close to those items we were talking about. Blink on DK. Blink on Brew, and BKB Gyro. When they've got all 3, they're going to be looking to just take the fights and look to pressure the lanes, look to pressure those towers. Arteezy is also going for an early BKB, so he wants to be able to try to match them. He doesn't want to lose. They don't want to lose pretty much every single fight in the next few moments and just get completely run over. They have to try to be able to match the aggression that's going to be coming out from Secret in the next few moments.
See if Sumail decides to do the same thing. Right now he has the Diffusal Blade queued up, but depending upon how the next couple of fights go, he might change his mind about that as well.
Yeah, he's holding the gold, so we will see.
up here. The other thing to keep in mind is these levels. Obviously, we've seen so many times the Io Gyro combination having that Aghanim Scepter granted over to the Gyrocopter just at level 10, but now YapzOr has that XP gain talent and can also completely change the entire dynamic of the game once you get that online.
Yep. Same thing with them. I mean, even Mech. Like Mech is a big thing that changes the game with Io, just because the double pump. You know, you double heal somebody.
Oh my
Sunder, but
Arteezy completely out of position here and is going to be chased. The Stampede trying to run. There's the lift up already. They're going to have the Dispel Magic afterwards. Can they chase him down and kill him off? On the other side, S4 is taking down the tier 3 tower actually. So maybe a little bit of space created, but they aren't going to be able to finish it off, it looks like. Still a lot of damage done, but they find the kill onto the Terrorblade.
Yep. Brew, one of the better heroes that we've seen a lot of times versus TB. Not only because you can dispel all those illusions, but, I mean, that time, of course, he sundered right at the start, but in a lot of situations, you're just surrounded by these primal Brewlings, and you're like, oh god, I don't have a target to sunder.
Yeah.
Not that time, though, of course. But.
Oh, jump forward, underneath some vision. There's the Breathe Fire onto absolutely everybody. The Boundless Strike, S4 not able to get his stomp off, and now the Snowball just need to run the heck away from here. In trouble, all of EG being chased through by Secret, and it looks like they're gonna lose absolutely everybody.
This is that window we were talking about, right? I think Black had mentioned it on the panel too. It's like that 15 to 25, 15 to 30 minute mark where Secret has a huge power spike. They're using it. They've got all these blinks. Even though they didn't have Primal Split, they know how strong they are in comparison. If you're running at a lineup with Disruptor, he's not getting good chances to get his spells off. And Secret, with no hesitation, an immediate smoke into the pit, because they've got Vlads. Everyone has Vlads always, so you can go Roche.
And immediately they are in there. I mean, the other thing to keep in mind, when that death happens, Sumail bought out his items, so he's committed to this Diffusal Blade now. Could become an issue depending upon how the next couple of fights go as well, but definitely could make some extra space there with the Centaur, Stampede type of things, but Roche, very low.
There's just so much magic damage that really comes from, magic damage and control that comes from the Secret side that it really could be a huge problem that Sumail doesn't go for an early beat. Out for the Dragon Knight, I believe, almost a full Mac, a drum as well. They've got so many items coming out onto Secret that that BKB might not actually be enough for EG to take any fights versus this lineup, this heavy powerhouse of a mid-game lineup.
That Mac coming out right now. They've got the Maelstrom as well, so more magic damage, more ways to keep this pressure on, try and clear through those illusions.
Yep.
It's feeling very, very hard right now for Team Evil Geniuses, a 9,000 net worth lead at 21 minutes.
Yeah, and they just have trouble with their team fight too. Okay, mid one will get glimpsed away as he TPs to Sean, but it's not that far. He actually was relatively close.
Do some blink shenanigans there, but nothing happened.
But yeah, the team fights on EG are just so much harder versus what Secret has right now because of the timing windows they got.
So 22 minutes, backing away again. Just trying to pull Secret around this map whenever possible. But the danger that comes with this is, of course, having that relocate.
Yep.
If you can find somebody on the other side of the map, and Io very, very close now to that level 15 talent. This is an incredibly strong timing coming out from Team Secret.
I mean, they've got like everything. They've got key items on their cores. They've got the BKBs and the blinks. Then they even have core items on their supports. They have the Mac, like I was mentioning, and the drum even on the Sven. Drum is an item that's pretty crazy. Whenever you use the active ability of it for those 6 seconds, it's a lot of attack speed that actually is given to your team and movement speed. So Warcry plus Drum plus an IO who's tethered to Gyrocopter, they're going to be going max movement speed running at you, even if you have Stampede.
And then the cherry on top of all of this is the Aegis on the Gyrocopter.
Yeah.
Well, the Fusel Blade is done for this Monkey King. They just now get that Tether Grant Aghanim Scepter. And Nisha going to start to do that double damage onto the tower.
Yep, pretty much.
Stampede looking towards that mid lane, wanting to find the jump. They've already got one. It's Brewmaster control, but mid one trying to interrupt that. Able to find the disruptor right from the get-go. The relocated. They're going to be able to take him down, though. S4 done and dusted.
Oh my God, Zai's build, he had a Vanguard and a Vlad's, and now he's got even a Crimson Guard coming out, and then the Warcry comes in toward the end. They don't have the damage to kill this Brew. They threw everything on him.
This is problematic indeed with 3 heroes dead, Centaur gone for 30 seconds, and using that Stampede. They're now going to be pushing onto high ground, and how in the hell do you deal with this?
You're not ready. Like, sure, your Terrorblade has BKB, but like I said, the BKB is not enough to deal with the power that Secret has in this mid-game push. That's just a Rax.
Tier 3 tower down, Seek standing tall. And all you can really do right now is jungle if you're a Terrorblade.
So EG had, they got successful lane with the Centaur and the Monkey King, but it's really about, it's about that whole game. What happens when you group up together? And that's where the DK really, it's where that matchup goes back and forth. Lane, Monkey King owns, but DK groups up with his team and he's able to actually put so much pressure on the map. And the item choice too, it's like the Midas, it kind of worked, but it's like the Blink Dagger is the more important one because he can just start the fights for his team. And it's looking pretty impossible now for EG. They're going to need an absolute miracle somehow from Arteezy. But he doesn't have the greatest matchups. I mean, there's a Brewmaster that deals with him. There's damage reduction that comes from the Dragon Knight. There's just so many different things that Secret does have to deal with the EG draft.
And you just look at how farmed right now this Nisha Gyrocopter is. Finished off the Sanjin Yasha, Maelstrom, BKB, then basically a 4,200 net worth item on top of that as well.
In theory, he's at 1 item ahead, but he's kind of 2 items ahead because of that IO that really enables him so much more. So EG, man, their next timing window is going to be really tough. I guess it's the BKB for the Monkey King and the Butterfly and the Terrorblade, but even then, it still feels incredibly difficult. They're going to need, like we were saying, like a miraculous Monkey King ulti that catches kind of everybody in there, but Secret already has itemization to deal with the physical damage too. They've got a Crimson Guard and a Warcry that comes out from Sven.
Oh.
And a full Guardian Greaves on IO.
Yeah, it's insane. This is absolutely ridiculous right now.
Yeah, it's, so hard for EG. Crit has been one of the most dominant players for EG throughout this tournament. In this game, he's been very quiet. 0-4-2. He couldn't have the lane pressure that he would have wanted to have as a Tusk because of how disastrous that bottom lane happened. And Tusk is a hero that he really capitalizes on laning phase. Mid-game and team fights, he's not the strongest.
And EG realizing that it is so difficult to try and take this fight. They're cutting creep waves, but at some point, you do need to come back and try and defend this tower. Maybe a big hoof stomp from S4, but they're in position already. Crit going to get hit by the missile. They jump forward. BKB reactions. S4 needs to back out now. They have their own Crimson Guard. The call down comes. It's on the Sumail, the slowdown. It's also keeping those buildings alive. And now the glimpse back. Maybe an opportunity. That's onto the Gyrocopter control for the moment. They're trying to do it out with the Wukong's command. It's on to absolutely everybody. The Snowball as well. Trying to kill him off in time. Nisha, he will fall. Arteezy, he wants to get that Sunder off. He's going to be able to find it. Finds Puppey. They hold. And is it going to be enough here?
They're going to kill Zai too. He's dead. That's 3. EG. Nisha, even though he popped that BKB with the Centaur stun, it may have been a bit preemptive as the glimpse from Fly really pulls them out of position there, and EG gets some breathing room.
That's one of those moments, too, where it feels like you haven't played against this hero in a long time, and you can forget just how devastating that glimpse can be, pulling you out of position, particularly when you have all of this other follow-up, getting the Wukongs down as the glimpse is going in.
And it was a perfect Wukongs, right? In that position on the high ground, everybody's caught in it. Even the Brewmaster split is getting hit by those Wukongs. You see the Yapsor actually comes in, gets a great Guardian Greave, and almost looks like it's going to turn the fight for a second, but EG
this can't happen if you're EG. S4 going down here as they find the Stormhammer and a couple more punches. The Hoof Stomp trying to run. Is he going to be able to get out of there? No. Yapsor finishes it off the kill.
The DDIO. Those right clicks actually kind of coming into play. Level 17 on the IO. Gyrocopter only level 16, by the way. Yapsor leveling his carry. That XP talent. He also, of course, ate a tome. So that does boost him forward a little bit.
God, look at that net worth for the IO. He's so far ahead of average.
So farmed.
That's just a casual YapzOr game.
He's 3-0 and 8. It doesn't seem like he's gotten too many kills, but he's been paired up just right next to Nisha the whole time.
He's the second highest level in the game right now because of that XP talent. One other thing that can praise here for Evil Genius is recognizing when they could actually fight. They let that entire bottom racks go because they knew they couldn't take the engagement, but then had to come and defend for the second set.
That was before Sumail having BKB too. It's just just such a good glimpse that pulls Secret into a bad spot. So Secret, they got to be aware of that now, of course. And they're still in a, they're still in a good spot though. I mean, that's a little bit of a hiccup, but it's not like it gives EG any huge objective. It's not like they get that into a Roche, they get that into some big towers. It was on their side of the map, so they can't transition into anything big. It's just some space that they can get to farm, but you'll still see Secret catch back up and get the farm ahead even more. So you see a little dip, and then it starts increasing again for Secret on both that net worth and experience.
Yeah, you can't even really gain like any type of map control.
Sumail gonna go for courier?
Oh, he needs to be careful. He's within vision right now. But yeah, they will be able to find that courier kill.
That's his BKB. Looks like Secret's really waiting for that next Roche, but it is a very long timer. Still 2 minutes after quite a bit of the timer goes down.
Oh, run away, run away. Do they find the tree? Jumping again. Mr. Monkey Man making mischief. Sumail creating some space for his team.
They need all the space in the world.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it doesn't solve inherent problems that exist in this draft right now, where they have a lot of answers for the Terrorblade with the Dispel, being able to clear through those illusions, all the magic damage in the world. But these BKBs do provide a little bit more cover.
They look like they're just going to run in. They have the midway pushing in already.
This could be really nice. Mid one, level 3 ulti, a smoke up coming from EG.
Same thing for Zai. He's level 3 primal split too, online.
They want to come and take this fight yet again. We'll see if S4 can bait out something, and they're going to need to find another big glimpse here. The stomp already up the get-go, but there is no follow-up as of yet. There's going to be the stun to try and turn it. Sumail pops the BKB. Wukong's hitting onto about 3. Can they kill him off in the duration of this? He has the bonus armor, which makes him tanky as well as that lifesteal. And then TZ walking into the middle of all of them. They go for the mischief, trying to live, but they can't live through it. And now the static storm, it's down onto 3. Not that bad either, but the IO, it's keeping alive Nisha so strong in mid one, turned upon by this Terrorblade, but he gets the stun off, in some trouble, no more Sunder, and that's a dead RTZ. Terrorblade has to buy back immediately, but everybody from Secret is still alive. They are going to run out of their glimpse. A big hoof stomp, but where's the follow-up? It does not exist. Nobody's here to help you, S4.
There's no creeps in the base at least, so that Rax is going to have backdoor protection. They pop the glyph as well. But you see this time, Nisha understands. I think they discussed it too. It's you can't pop the BKB for that. You have to save the BKB for the Disruptor ult and just be able to stand toe-to-toe with the Monkey King and the Terrorblade, and he's able to this time.
Yeah, it's kind of a bait in a weird way, right?
Yeah.
Because you just don't have that immediate follow-up from this side of Evil Geniuses. They sort of have to get set up. The Terrorblade illusions moving in, being propagated, the, Wukong's command being laid down.
I mean, they got it all like perfectly. Just they're too farmed. I mean, it's a 28, 30 armored gyrocopter, a 38 armored Dragon Knight with a halberd too. So they're just so durable in the front lines, and that's exactly what's going on. They even got Warcraft. We talked about damage mitigation, and that's exactly what's been happening from Secret. They can just soak all of the spells of EG.
23-6.
Yeah.
Feeling like a bit of a stomp here in these later stages of this game at number one. There's been moments where just that one glimpse pretty much that's been the good thing going on for Evil Geniuses over the past 10 minutes.
And Sumail getting a courier, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's pretty much just the glimpse that happened, yeah. And Secret recognized that they made that mistake, BK being before having any glimpse come out. They don't have to worry about EG. They don't have to worry about Nisha getting stunned by a Centaur. That's fine. He has so much sustain coming out from his team. Now with Cheese on top of YapzOr too.
They have Stormhammer Dispels on the Sven.
And YapzOr's even starting to queue up some fine items for himself, of course. A Maelstrom queued up for the IO. Why not?
Dear God. So mid one, the slow siege of this barracks, and still trying to buy time. It's 32 minutes in, but it is feeling like an impossibility right now. The Crimson Guard is popped. This tower just tickling mid one.
4-0 and 14 on the Dragon Knight.
They have to TP back the Terrorblade, but already the lift up comes. They have the split chasing forward, trying to find themselves this kill onto the Gyrocopter. And my God, Crit just eviscerated there in the midst of it. Sumail already down to half HP. He's trying to get the lifesteal to keep himself alive, but he is doing nothing at all to anybody from Secret. They're losing absolutely all of them. Arteezy jumps forward. The Sunder, that's the most damage that's been dealt in a very long time on the side of Evil Geniuses, but it's still not looking like it's going to be enough. They chase forward, and GG is called. He just wants Yapzor. It ain't happening.
Far too much sustain, far too much tank. They're still all 5 alive at the end of that fight. It happened time and time again from Secret, just the way they ball up, and that's exactly what their draft wanted to do. When we see that DK last pick, when they have DK and Brew, you know they want to just group and go, and don't let EG slow the pace down.
28-6.
Yeah, that was pretty commanding by Puppy and the boys.
A very impressive showing here on the main stage. Lower bracket finals, the crowd giving them a little bit of love as they head back and talk some strategy, but